Thank you so much for joining me. If you're joining me on replay, if you're joining us live, however you're joining us, thank you for making this a part of your creative day. Friends over on TikTok, I got a little different angle going on here because I got my camera on the other stand. Last time I put this on the stand, it nearly bonked me in the head. So I'm going to make sure that this is not moving this time. That was kind of very, very traumatic. We also want to make sure that you all know that as you watch either on YouTube or on LinkedIn, even on Facebook, I can pull your comments up on screen. I cannot do that if you're watching me on TikTok. So if you'd like to join us on TikTok, feel free to jump in over on our YouTube page. It's very simple. Just go to our link and tap on that in YouTube, and it'll take you to where you can see the screen. So much is going on. So many. We're in November now. This is our first Creator Checkup in November. And so it is super, super exciting to know that you are less than 60 days away from 2026. Or maybe that's terrifying. I'm not sure which one is it for you. But I hope that whatever you're doing, that you're having a great start to the month. Let's go ahead and get a little bit of light going on here. So make sure my setup is looking as best as it can. There we go. It's a little better there. See me a little better. So let's see if I can do this right. Number one, like I said, I apologize. I'm looking at like 4 different screens, but I will definitely be focusing most of my attention here on YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn. Also want to let you know as we get started that you can like and comment on this even after this is playing. So if you're watching on replay and you're like, oh, I missed the entire conversation. No, I am going to go back. I will listen and follow along with the comments that I see. I might ask a question and then you answer it later in the comments. This is part of the conversation. So if you're watching on replay, don't think you missed everything. This will be part of the conversation. I always go back and I respond to the comments that I see. So if you're not commenting live, that's okay. I will still want you to feel like you're a part of this. You're watching on replay because we know not everybody can join us at 1 p.m. on Fridays Eastern. I know that is 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock. I think Pacific. So wherever you're watching around the world at whatever time, you are welcome to be part of this conversation. So let's jump right into it. As we try to do every single time we do one of these creative checkups, we try to make sure Mia over there on TikTok, sorry, real quick, got distracted, but for a good reason. Love to see Mia there, amazing creator. That is also connected with us here over in Miami at our church. Let's see who else is joining us before we get jumped in. Camille is here. Great to see you there. A member, fellow member of both the Bootstrap Biz Advice channel, which I am a proud member of, LaShonda Brown being the leader of that tribe. And Camille has joined us, and we're dual citizens. I like to say that a lot. Like, we're dual citizens of different tribes, of people that are united and aligned. So great to see Camille here joining us, and anybody else that's joining us on TikTok. I'm going to keep turning around. Again, I'm tempted to move my camera, but last time I moved my camera, I literally hurt myself. So I think I'm just going to be, turning side to side if y'all don't mind. But let's get right into what we're going to talk about today, because I want to give you the quick rundown. I feel a little stuffiness coming on, so I apologize for that as well. So we're going to go right down to our Gold Creators Recap. I always want to shout out our Gold Creators, which is part of our app 360. I want to give you an update on our YouVersion plans, and then a Creator Workshop announcement, news and notes. All is the stuff that we kind of give you, all the happenings inside our community, which is buzzing, by the way. If you're not on our app is not one of those apps where people are just like, let's be honest. I'll tell you real quick. Some of the apps y'all join and the memberships you join, you just lurk and let it go by, right? That's not God and Gigs 360. Our folks, sometimes you have to decide whether or not you want to keep your notifications on, because they do talk. They share, they talk, they are always active, and there's always something new to follow along with. So I want to shout them out and talk about a Creator Workshop announcement. Next, we're going to get into the vital signs. This is where we get into the meat and potatoes of something that affects us spiritually or creatively. And today is going to be really a deep topic: why Christian creators lose focus and how to fix it. Got some thoughts. I would love to hear your thoughts on that as well. Then we're going to talk about lab work, which is more practical usually. Setting up a Black Friday offer as an indie creator. Yes, creators, we should be doing Black Friday. Every year I get into this argument with people about, well, that's more for big companies and I don't want to be salesy. Guess what? Sorry, you need to be a part of this too because people are opening their wallets. People have already started Black Fridays deals. Am I right, Camille? Am I right? Have people already started the Black Fridays? Have you seen the early bird Black Friday things? It's already here. So instead of us getting kind of, oh my gosh, I'm too small, nobody's going to pay attention. Let's try to get some of these coins along with these folks, right? Consult will be where we kind of have another part of the conversation. What's your current why as a creator? I'd love to hear your whys and let's kind of encourage each other. And finally, prescriptions are where we talk about what we suggest to do next. All right. So once again, shout out to our creators, our 360 faith focused creators. That's our app. I want to remind you guys that if you don't have a community, if you're out there, you're watching this right now, you're thinking, man, my area, I've been trying to get to open mics. I've been trying to join different artistic clubs or join the local guild and things like that. And no one seems to understand what I do. They don't really get that I'm a Christian. So that kind of makes it awkward at times. Or I do understand and I'm part of a church and I do have a faith community, but I don't have a creative community. Well, we connect the dots for that. It's algorithm free, discipline specific discussions. All creator workshops and trainings are available to you once you join either Creator Workshop Center or a Creator Resource Center or our 360 Gold program, which is live coaching included in that. Prayer and spiritual encouragement. We have an entire thread just for prayer. That's something I know most creators do not get in their memberships. There is not a space where we deliberately say, this is where we help you pray about the things that are going in your life. And we actually give you that support spiritually. That is I think our secret sauce, our defining change or whatever they say. I can't remember what they say for different like products. What makes us specifically different than everybody? Our differentiator is our prayer chat. You're not going to find that in any other creative resource. I'm just telling you right now. And finally, coaching and connection, as I mentioned for 360. Let's see, Camille's mentioning by now, they definitely have 3 mail this week alone from creators. Okay, gotcha. Talking about like the Black Fridays. Yeah, exactly. So all the different things that are happening right now, that is already happening. So there are emails coming out right now. Oh, I thought that was precious for a second, but I see Peaches. I see Ava over here on TikTok. Thank y'all for joining me. Awesome to have both TikTok and our friends from Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn joining us. All right, let's keep it moving. As I mentioned, shout out to our gold creators. Our last call was awesome. I just thought you'd like a little screenshot, ladies. Hope you didn't mind me picking a screenshot. I probably should have said smile or something like that. But this is where we have our major mastermind discussions and we get into the nitty gritty because I can't share everything in these live calls here. So I would love for you guys to be a part of that. All you have to do if you want to be a part of 360 Gold, you can go to this for either one of them, godandgeeks.com/app. And you can join us there and you can get the live coaching twice a month. And we also have an accelerator program that's going on right now. So lots of going on, but I want to shout out the ladies. That was an incredible call we had. And we have another one coming up on the 10th. All right, this is big news for those of you that have been following the YouVersion devotionals that we've been doing for a while, okay? So our next devotional, our next YouVersion devotional, again, to kind of just make sure that everybody understands, if you see the Bible app, 9 times out of 10 on your phone, the Bible app is YouVersion. Because sometimes I know people don't know what YouVersion is versus the Bible app. If you put Bible.com, you get the YouVersion site. That's how powerful this platform has become in spreading the word of God. They're going to celebrate a billion installs of their app worldwide this month. And I'll be blessed to go to the workshop and the gala where they'll be celebrating that billionth install and how they're impacting Bible reading all over the world. But this coming Monday, now I'm just going to make sure I explain this. This coming Monday, our next devotional should be airing or should be published. The Creator's Legacy, How to Make a Lasting Impact. Now, here's the thing. Most people will not see it right away on Monday. So we don't start the reading plan, reading it together 5 days on Monday. What we usually do is that we wait a week, make sure everybody has a chance to see it pop up in their feed, and we get to share the link where everyone can get it. And then we start reading it together as a community the week after. So just to make sure everybody understands, it's going to come out on Monday or Tuesday, depending on when you see it. It will start to be available. Throughout that week, I will send out links to my personal reading plan group. And that's where you can join me on the YouVersion app. And on the YouVersion app, you can put comments. You can share what you think about the app, what you think about the particular reading plan. And as you can see, this one is all about legacy. This is about making a lasting impact with your creative gift that will outlive you. And this was an important one for me. And I'm going to be very honest and transparent for a second. I know we'll get into all the meat of the Creator Checkup, but this is super important. It kind of leans into what we're going to talk about. I was really motivated to write this devotional because of all of the losses and the people that have been passing away. We've seen major R&B artists. We've seen major actresses and actors. Not just every year, of course, we see major people in the field that pass away. And I never want to say that this is only about celebrities, but they get the most press and people notice and people have been inspired by them and so on. And it really hit me that we don't necessarily really talk in the creator space, especially as faith-focused creators, about the legacy we leave. What will last when we are gone? And I know that's not easy to talk about. But if you really look at it, Jesus made sure his last will, his will was explained over and over again. He kept telling his disciples, I'm going to go away. I'm going to be crucified. You're going to have to do this. And they didn't want to hear it. So finally, when it came down, you can see why God was so specific about leaving lasting instructions, leaving an impact and explaining what his legacy was all about. And so in this devotional, I want to just set the scene for you. We are talking about how you can make a lasting impact with your art, with your creativity, with your ideas, so that they outlive you and so that you can set the foundation, just like God set the foundation, for his legacy to continue. Because everything in these series of creator devotionals is designed to show you the blueprint that God set up as a creator. If we are creators, then God is the ultimate creator. Basically, everything we need to do to be successful, he's already set up in the way that he created. So we follow his blueprint, and I know that we can follow his blueprint, of course, for every walk of life and everything we follow his blueprint. But specifically as a creator, I'm trying to map out what did God do to do blank. So how did he create a legacy as a creator? And we're going to follow that blueprint through 5 days of our Creator Legacy devotional. So you can't get it yet, but you can go ahead and bookmark godandgigs.com/uversion. When it comes out, you can go ahead and download it. And then I'll also make sure to invite those of you on our on our email list. I will invite you to my personal reading group. And that means you have to be connected to me as a friend on YouVersion. So look for that. If you're my friend on YouVersion, feel free to join me on YouVersion. You can find me easily, Alan C. Paul. You'll see my profile. And then you can join me in the plan. Or if you like, if you don't friend me, it's okay. You can create your own group. And you can say, hey, when it says, I would like to read this plan, and then it will say, share with friends and create your own group. You don't all have to be a part of my group, okay? So all those who are watching us, hello there, down to Drone. I think that was it. I can't see, down to Drone. Hello, thanks for welcoming and saying hi. I'm going to try my best to keep track of everything going on as I work at 2 different screens. So that's what's going on with the creative legacy, the Creator's Legacy, our next devotional plan, okay? Now, let's talk about our November Creator Expert. Trust me, I'm trying to get through all the news and notes. There's a lot of stuff to talk about. This is might be our last monthly workshop because we've been doing them every month pretty much. I think we skipped August. Maybe we skipped August because someone had a health scare. But we're trying to do this every month. We may not do it in December just because December gets so busy with the holidays. So this might be our last one for the year. Our November Creator Expert Workshop will be on the refreshed creator. And this will be all about how to build margin and get rest and manageable time and energy into your creator lifestyle. And we're going to be talking with Dustin Peed. Now, he is an expert in creative systems and processing. He has been a church creative all his life, but now he is consulting with agencies and brands and creators to help them make sure they can manage their time, their energy, and their resources to make sure that it's sustainable over time. I'm super excited about this. And what I decided to do, because a lot of you are part of our Creator Resource Center, so you get these links automatically. Gold members, you get these links automatically. But for those of you who have not yet joined the Creator Resource Center or Gold, I want to make this super easy. So I literally just did this a few minutes ago. You can see it's almost too big to fit. godandgigs.com/creator-workshop will be the link for all the workshops. And all I'll do is I'll just trade out the workshop. So it'll be easy for you guys to find this from now on. If you don't know, hey, what's the workshop for this month? Just go to godandgigs.com/creator-workshop and you'll see which workshop we are doing for the month. And you can register right there. Now, as I tell you all the time, if you want to save a little money, it's $20 to register. It's much easier to join godandgigs.com/CRC, join our Creator Resource Center, and you get every month plus all the rest of the workshops you missed for just $17. So $17, $3 less, and you get all the other workshops. So if I were you, I would just go ahead and join godandgigs.com/CRC. But if you'd rather just pay for the individual one, you can go to godandgigs.com/creator-workshop. Does that make sense? Let me know if that made sense in TikTok land over here as well. Make sure that you guys are understanding what I'm sharing. I would love for you guys to be a part of this workshop. Again, it's going to be November 21st at 11 a.m. November 21st at 11 a.m. All right? Eastern, by the way. All right. We are almost to our time. I figured out. I got through there. Oh, should I do one more announcement? I hate to do all these announcements, and I hope you guys aren't losing it. If you're still with me, say hello in the chat. If you're still with me, I have one more announcement. I literally thought about this as I was getting ready, as I was getting cleaned up. I was like, oh, I really should talk about this. So give me a second to pull this up. Let me see if I can find the file. And this is a local announcement, but it also, again, applies to pretty much the things that we were doing as podcasters. So I figured, yeah, I should probably share this. Give me half a second. I'm still looking for it. Why do I lose my things that I need all the time and that always seem to miss them when I need them most? And I don't see it. It's so crazy. Always when you need something, you can't find it. Let's do a search. Y'all forgive me because this is literally what's so frustrating about so many things that you do. When you need something, you can't find it. And I don't see it all of a sudden. Okay. All right, everybody say woosah. There it is. As soon as I was about to get mad, I was going to I can't find it. I was like, okay. Oh, good to see you, Victoria from 12th Street Talkback. Awesome to see you, my friend. Hope you can pop in. Hope you can stay a little while if you can. If you can't, it's still good to see you. She's an amazing podcaster and creator. Please check her out over at 12th Street Talkback. And I know she's got like 6 or 7 other projects going on right now, my sister. All right. So, podcaster meetup. This is why I wanted to bring this up real quick, because our friends at Podfest have been so good to me over the years. And if you're in South Florida, you get to connect with them now personally because they will be coming to the Fort Lauderdale, Miami, West Palm Beach area on next Thursday from 6 to 8 p.m. And I really want more of our podcasters to realize that this is a resource that's available to you. I'm going to be speaking at Podfest in Orlando in January. So this was my chance to kind of put out the red carpet for people who are welcoming me every year in Orlando. Chris and Andrew and the whole team. Alex of Podmatch, they have been a huge supporter of me for years. So I want to make sure I return the favor. So make sure if you are in South Florida and you're watching this now, please feel free to come. Even if you don't have a show, you're just interested in maybe being a podcaster one day, being on shows, promoting your books or your YouTube channel. These are the kind of things where you want to connect with other people who are already sharing their message via podcasting. There will be a quick Q&A from Chris. We'll be teaching a little bit. And this is where I just want, again, for everyone that's involved in content creation in the God and Gigs community to know that this exists for you. If you're not in South Florida, keep an eye out. There may be a few more pod tours coming to your area. I know that they did New York, Chicago. I'm not sure where else they're going to be over the next couple of months before the holidays roll around and we start getting ready for PodFest in Orlando. You're definitely invited to that. Just go to podfestexpo.com, I believe. But this is a hugely, hugely, hugely beautiful and effective resource for not just podcasters, but anyone in the creation space, content creation space. All right. Finally got through all my notes. Okay. Crazy that my TikTok just said I should stop. Hilarious. TikTok like, you run out of time on TikTok. I didn't realize I've been on TikTok that much. My phone's trying to keep me from having too much screen time. All right, now we can jump in and let's go ahead to our vital signs. All right, for those of you who are on TikTok, you don't get to see our cool, transitions, but I like them a lot. So we get to have a little bit of a break to get a little glass of water or something real quick. All right. This is again, a topic that I really, really felt almost convicted to share because it is so easy for us to talk about our goals are, what we want to do as creators, we want to find our YouTube audience, we want to find our musical audience, we want to find people who will buy and sell and connect with us. That's all great, but if you lose your focus as a Christian creator, it doesn't matter how much activity you are involved in. And I want to make sure I get your comments here. I'll go ahead and fade it out for a second, but I would love to see your comments. If you've ever felt like you have lost your why, lost your focus as a creator in the midst of all the busyness. We're in November now, and because we're in November, as I mentioned, so much is going to come down to Black Friday deals, and then Christmas, and then sales, and then New Year's resolutions. So much is going to be coming at you in the next less than 60 days. When it comes to the end of the year, it's like we get to the end of the year and everything speeds up at 1,000,000 miles a minute. And yet, you can feel like the year went by and I didn't get anything that I wanted to get done. I didn't release the album. I didn't finish the book. I don't have the followers. I didn't see the income. Y'all, I'm going to be very, very transparent. That's been definitely one of the issues that I felt because I did a couple of launches that did not go the way that I thought they would go. Some did a little better than others. Some didn't do well at all. And it was that temptation to think, well, why am I doing this? If it's not going to grow like the other guy's channel grew, if it's not going to be blessed and have all the people following me in my music channels, why am I even doing this? And that is the drift away from my focus. And of course, this all points to you have to have a focus. So if this has been you, first of all, let me know in the chat. Let me know in the comments if you're watching on replay. Have you ever felt that you've lost your focus as a creator? Have you ever felt like, oh, I don't even know what I'm doing here? Because this is, again, going to feed into later our consult where we'll talk about our whys. But first, I want to know whether or not you ever felt like you've lost your why. Okay, same thing here on TikTok. Let me know. So if we feel that we've lost our focus, we have to first talk about what are we supposed to be focusing on? Are you supposed to be focusing on your downloads, on your sales numbers? Are you supposed to be focusing on how many people are watching your live stream, just like I am looking right now? So much in the metrics of YouTube and Facebook and all these social media platforms, the first thing you see is the number of how many views. The first thing you see. So it's almost like they are forcing you to put your focus on who paid attention, who watched it, are you popular, did people actually like it, or are people ignoring you? That is the very first thing you see. So your focus goes to what you feed, right? What you feed is what you focus on. So if you feed your desire to have likes, followers, and subscribers, and that is not happening the way you want it to happen, well, now your focus is on that, and you feel more and more frustrated, more and more alone, more and more like, why am I even doing this? So if that is the struggle, that your focus is on the wrong thing, well, now we have to switch to focusing on the right thing. So how do you, number one, fix your focus on the right thing? And then how do you keep your focus on the right thing so we can fix that feeling of looking at the wrong thing, dealing with the wrong thing? Well, I'm going to go to scripture because that's the best place to go always. This is a scripture that's been mentioned in my church recently, and it's so good that I need to mention it again, give credit to where credit is due, first to the Bible and to God, and then to our church and our pastors who have been sharing this. And they talk about the Bible verse from Colossians 3, which is set your minds on things above. I actually wrote a song about that a long time ago when I was a kid. I wrote a song about this. And I won't sing it because it's a very long and convoluted melody that probably wouldn't make any sense still. But I thought about that verse being so powerful. Set your minds on things above, on Christ, who sits at the right hand of the Father, right? That scripture, I'll pull up the exact chapter and verse. I want to make sure you get the right one. I'm 99% sure it's Colossians 3. That the setting your minds is a decision to set your mind and focus on something above. Now, this is so counterintuitive when we're also told many times you have to focus on what's right in front of you. Focus on the task right in front of you. Focus on what you're doing right now, which is all well and good. It's true. Like right now, I need to keep my focus on presenting a good live stream. Focus on who I'm interacting with. Of course, my focus is here. But we're not talking about your literal focus in terms of what you're looking at. We're talking about your mental focus. Your mental focus cannot be just on the thing you're doing right now, because then what I saw, and I wrote down this even as I was thinking about this, we become outcome dependent instead of output dependent. Let me make sure I make that clear, and let me know if this is making sense to you in the chat. Put a 1 if it's making sense to you. I'd love to see anybody that's kind of making sure that you're with me as you're tracking. And you can put a 1 in the comments if you watch this on replay. But outcome dependent means I focus on what happened and what the result was. So I create a blog, I write a book, I write a devotional, I put out a piece of art, and my focus is on what happens next, the outcome. Instead, I should be focusing on the output. The output is what I created and how did I create it, and focusing my attention on how can I bless God by giving my best to this moment. And why is this important? It goes into the devotional that we're talking about, the Creator's Legacy. The way you do things will last longer than the things that you do. Let me say that again, because I literally just felt like there was a download right there. I don't like to say that as if it's like some big spiritual thing, but I didn't come up with that right now. The way you do things will outlast the things that you do. So the faithfulness and the consistency in which you perform and you do your tasks is what will last forever. When the Bible says, blessed are the dead that die in the Lord, from henceforth they will rest, right? There's the rest that we believe that God gives all of us when we go to heaven. And then it says, and their works do follow them. How can your works follow you when it's very clear from Scripture that the only things that we do that will last are things that we do for Christ? How can the way you wash dishes follow you? How can the way that you presented that Black Friday sale follow you? How can your compositions follow you? If we all know that that is not necessarily the type of work that God is talking about when they say that your works follow them, right? Is it the actual compositions and the things that you build and things are those following you into heaven? Probably, or Probably not. I'd say more probably not, right? We're not going to see this big treasure trove of things that we made that are going to track us into heaven and follow us. What will follow us is the way that we create, the way that we present it, the way that we presented our character, the way that we built, the way that we were consistently showing up, the way that we loved, the way that we did things becomes the way and the works that follow us. And so I believe, if this is helping you, let me know in the chat. I believe that we can fix our focus by focusing less on what we do and focusing more on the way we do it. Focusing less on the outcome and focus more on the output. What am I creating and how am I creating it, and focus on that versus what YouTube and all the other things want you to look at, which is simply the outcome. Who paid attention? How many people signed up? How many people? And of course, these are things that are important. We get it. I get that these things are important. But let's focus less on what the results are on the here and now, and focus more on the results and the eternal. And the only way that we get eternal rewards and eternal results is to have an eternal focus. Who am I presenting this for? I'm ultimately giving this to God. And as I'm giving it to God, as I'm presenting this to God, I am then doing all these things, as Colossians 3 says, again, at the end of the chapter, I am then doing all things as unto the Lord, right? And as I'm doing it as unto the Lord, I'm then focusing on my impact in the here and now by showing up, being consistent, and doing my best work to the glory of God and to the good of others. I hope that helped. I always feel kind of like, okay, I'm going to go here. I don't know if this is always going to bless people, but my goal is to always give you some kind of nugget in the vital signs where you get back to what really matters. So I hope that blessed you. Will, good to see you, man. It's a blessing to see you. Always, always a blessing to see more of our Podfest fam. I just shouted them out, by the way, in our opening of the news and notes. Good to see you, Will. And I also saw, once again, 12th Street Talk back hanging out with us. All right, but let's keep it moving because we have a lot to cover. And I realized I spent a little long on our news and notes. So let's jump into our lab work. All right. Setting up a Black Friday offer as an indie creator. Now, as I mentioned in the open, this is one of those things that a lot of creators, independent creators, that's why I put indie, because I think independent creators struggle with this the most. Excuse me as I get a little sip of coffee here. I think a lot of independent creators struggle with the idea of I should be doing Black Friday offers and sales and things during the Christmas season, during the holiday season. And the reason I think it is because we feel that we're small. We feel that, well, there's going to be a billion sales. Everybody's doing sales during Black Friday. But let me tell you that here's why you need to focus on this just like everybody else. First of all, the fact is, good to see you, Camille. Thank you for letting me know you'll catch up on the rest of the replay. I love that. This is exactly why we want to make sure people know there's a replay. If you can't watch live, I'm never thinking about that. I always see there's more people watching later. There's always more views after the fact. So no struggle at all if you can't join us live. Of course, it helps to have people live to talk to, but I know that this is going out to people who can watch it whenever they can. All right. So, and our friends on YouTube, TikTok as well. It's good to have you guys here. Like I said, so that's the live audience as well. So setting up a Black Friday offer as any creator matters because so many people are just in the mood to spend money. It's Christmas time. It's Christmas season. It's holiday gift giving season. So the problem is that if you turn that thing off and you feel like, oh, no one's going to pay attention to me, it kind of goes like what I just talked about, outcome versus output. You're worried about, oh, well, everybody's being, salesy and sharing. I don't need to be a part of that. You're forgetting that maybe your community would like to support you, and more importantly than even support you in a weird way, they are looking for support. They're looking for something to help them. So this is your time to get into their inbox, to get into their place and say, hey, I have something for you as well. And here's the blessing of being an indie creator. You're not competing with Walmart. You're not competing with Amazon. You are basically giving these people a chance to focus on what they love because you know them better than Amazon does. You know them better than Walmart does. They may need all these different things for kids and for husbands and wives, but for their individual goals, especially if you're a creator who is creating either educational content or inspirational content, you know what they need better than anyone else, and you can offer that this season. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a back behind the scenes. Right now, we're going to go and share screen a little bit, which I normally don't do, but I want you guys to see literally how I just created an offer myself. And like I said, this is like just telling you some of the things that I've done to create these Black Friday offers. The first thing you need to have, of course, is some type of software or some type of product creator where you can create the products that you want to use for your Black Friday offer. So what I use here, this is inside our Kit account, and this is our commerce area where you can create these products. So I'm basically going to show you, let's see if I can find one. It'd be great to start from the beginning and start all the way from the beginning, but I want to see if I can find one that I've made before, and I'll literally show you how we created a Black Friday offer step to step. This is interesting. The Glow Up Challenge was last year. I remember this. So last year we did, as you can see, this was right before Black Friday actually, that I did the Glow Up Challenge. I wonder if I should do this again. So I made this $25 offer for our members. By the way, this was just for the God Against 360 members. It ran from Wednesday, November 30th to Saturday, November 16th, a 2-hour co-working session where I review and help you fix your online sites. This was actually a really fun challenge that, like I said, I might bring this back. So how did I do this? Well, I was inside Kit, and as you can see, there's this place called Settings, and I can actually set the price, set up whether I want it to be a standard, a subscription, pay what you want, or payment plans. You can then decide if you're going to fulfill it by sending a file, going to a URL, a newsletter, or something else. This was something else. You can then, this is super cool, in Kit, you can then create an upsell. So you can add here whether or not you'd like to connect another product so that when they buy from you, they also see something else that they can get. So right now, let's just pretend that I am doing a upsell to the Refresh Creator because maybe you want them to come to this particular workshop. Okay. So now, as you can see here, when they check out, you can add to your order and you can see how to manage and maximize your creative time and energy after they get the Glow Up Challenge. So once again, I know I jumped into a product that I've already made. Whoops. See what happened there. There we go. Let's go back in. So that's a product that I already made, but it's a great example of how easy it is to use something like Kit to create a Black Friday offer. Now, one of the things I did, as you can see here, is I included a lot of testimonials. And if you have not gotten Sinja to help you with testimonials, you really should consider that. Sinja.io, you can find that at godandgigs.com/Sinja. I think I might have that here. Let's see. Everything is at the toolkit. So if you want to find out any of these things, you can go to godandgigs.com/toolkit. But this is a big part of any offer. You want to show people that you have either testimonials or people who have bought from you before. Now, maybe you might say, okay, I've never had anybody buy from me before. That's okay. What have you done where people can talk well about you and share? This is where you want to use something like Sinja so that you can include these testimonials in your Black Friday offer. So you can see here, I added all these offers. These are all from Sinja, and people were able to see it. So let me go to the actual website. Let's see if the website actually still works. Publish. Let's do this, and we'll go to this site here. Yep, it's still there. So here's the actual website. And again, this was a very, very, very simple thing to make, but immediately got me signups and people who wanted to join in. And again, This is super easy to build on Kit. Let's click here. And there's the upsell right there, and then pay the $25. You can do your pricing however you want. Sometimes people want to price things a little bit more, like they want to do discounts for Black Friday. Other times people would rather do bonuses where instead of lowering your prices, instead what you do is you not raise, but you kind of keep the price the same, but you add on more bonuses, you add on more things. So once again, you might be saying, I'm a musician, I don't know what I would add. Well, can you create a bonus Black Friday concert series? Can you add on tickets to your next live stream, to your next show? Do you want to add on your previously unreleased recordings, right? And you might say, okay, was that a Black Friday offer? Yes, you can make the Black Friday offer into that. You can find ways to give access to your songwriting process to people who are like, oh, I would love to see how you write. I would love to be a part of it. I would love to have a song written for me, right? Those are the things that you can think to yourself, how could I create an offer that's special for this time of year and offer it to them so that they can join in and be a part of the Black Friday kind of sales bonanza and everybody spending money. So I would highly recommend you try one of these things. And again, if you want to find any more information about Kit, go to godofgigs.com/toolkit, and you will see all of my different things that I recommend. Kit is one because you can use Kit Commerce. And Commerce, as you can see, is super easy to build products just like I just did. All you have to do is simply go in there, go inside. As I logged in, you saw that I logged in. You go to Earn up here, and there's products. So right away, you can see how you can start to build these products simply with using Commerce to build up a product that you want to share. You can do it as a subscription, as I mentioned, set your price, and as simple as that. You don't want to overthink these things. Sometimes I think we assume that if you're going to do any kind of offer sales, it's going to be really, really, really complicated. You can see in this particular app, and you can use other ones, Gumroad. So Gumroad spends a lot of money. PayPal, Kit is the one I would recommend again because you can do this. I believe you might be able to do this even on their free plan. But and hint, they might be doing something special for Black Friday themselves. So get ready for that because maybe you can get all this at a super huge discount. So keep an eye on that. I will let you know if they do their own Black Friday offer. This is just something you can use so that you can build yours. And again, do not think as a creator that you should not be creating offers for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, you name it. Find a way to do it. Do not shy away from it just because you think all the big box retailers are getting all the attention. Everybody assumes you have something to sell. It's okay. You don't have to hide from that. What you don't want to do, again, is feel that you're overwhelmed or that you don't want to share because you don't try to at least share something. Okay. All right. I think that was helpful. I hope that was helpful to you as you guys watch, whether you're watching now on replay. We only have one more thing to go through. Yep. Almost cut myself off there. We only have one more thing to do. And that is our consult. So I really, really love this conversation right now. And as we are watching and as you're watching here on TikTok, I would love to get your ideas as well. I want to know, what's your current why as a creator? Now, again, I knew last time I did this, I actually messed this up. So let's see if I can move this thing this time without dropping my whole phone and hurting myself. Because I really want to see if there's comments can pop up. So let's see here. I'm going to turn this. And I'm going to turn this. All right, it's a little better to see there. Okay, so you can see the light is kind of like annoying. So I'll try to get rid of that. I know a lot of other creators use the ring lights. I get so annoyed when I see my own rings in my glasses. So I'll just have to kind of ignore that because this is much easier than turning my head all the way. Because I'd love to know from you guys from each of these places for TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Your current why as a creator. So why am I asking why? Yes, that rhymes. I'm asking because, as we mentioned back in our first vital signs and in our focus, If you know your why, you will remain focused on the right things. But if you get off on your why, or you don't know what your why is, it's super easy to get frustrated and then you end up focusing on the wrong things. Okay? So I would love to know, those who are watching on TikTok as well, I'll give you guys some time to respond. What is your current why? And leave this in the comments as well if you're watching on replay, guys. What's your current why? And as a matter of fact, I would challenge you. Don't just write it in the comments. Write it for yourself. Write it in your journal. Put it above your workspace if you're in your art studio or in your project studio or in your practice studio or above your instrument. Put your why somewhere where you can see it. I do this every day when I read my vision statement. I read my vision statement every day as part of my miracle morning practice. And so what I'm asking or saying or challenging you to do is to keep your why right in front of you at all times. It's super important because, as we said, as you get to the end of the year and you start to evaluate things, you have to have the right metrics to evaluate. So my why, honestly, as I share, telling you guys share yours, I got to be very upfront and share mine. My why right now is all about legacy and family. I've eclipsed 50, y'all. I am above 50. The grades are telling on me. And I now realize that I have limited time to make the impact that I want to make. And I'll try not to get teary-eyed or frustrated or scared or emotional here, because it all kind of comes down on you at once. So my why is, what am I leaving behind for my family? What am I leaving behind for my kids, my grandkids, one day very soon, grandkids on the way? What am I leaving behind for them? Am I ready? Am I ready to leave something behind? So all of my efforts are really going toward that. Now, again, these are incremental little changes I'm trying to make as I look at the big why of blessing God and leaving something behind for my family so that there is something set up for them. So it may feel insurmountable. I don't have a huge inheritance to share, to leave behind. But can I leave behind instructions? Can I leave behind character? Can I leave behind my mindset and how I do things so that the next generation and the generation after that knows how to build, knows what's important? Those are the things that I'm trying to make sure I focus on. That's my current why. And so when I look at like Instagram and there's only 2 people that followed me and there's only two likes on TikTok, or there's only 1 sale or no sales or whatever, I have to go back to what's the why. And if the why is not just how many people followed me or how many people bought my book, but it's how did I present myself over and over again so that people can see, and my grandkids and my great-great-grandkids or whoever can see, this is how dad operated, this is how granddad operated, this is how great-granddad operated. Now I have a legacy, something that is not just tangible, it is also eternal in the way that I just mentioned in our vital signs. That's why I'm coming back to this. Because if you have a why, you can always come back around and refocus on the reason that you're doing it, and it refuels you for the next day and the next thing, and you're not so burned out. So if you have a current why, I would love for you, once again, to share it in the comments. I would love for you to write it down. I would love for you to pay close attention to it, especially the last 5-6 weeks of the year as things get crazy and you get ready for your New Year's resolutions. I would say that you would want to have that in the top of your mind. So don't wait for the end of the year to start thinking about your why and what you're doing and why you're doing it. Don't wait for the end of the year to say, oh my gosh, what, because then, like I said, the temptation is to just throw out the baby with the bathwater, start all over, maybe with something that you should have stuck with, or to write a whole new set of visions and goals when you haven't really focused on the ones that you actually care about. So really, really focus on that, okay? Focus on the why this next couple of weeks, next couple of months, the last parts of 2025. And I guarantee you, you'll be ready for 2026. And I would love to see those comments as we go forth. All right, we're coming up on the end. So last part of it is our prescriptions for what we suggest for you to do next. And that will come up in just a second. Here it comes. All right. Our prescriptions for this Creator Checkup. I already mentioned it. It is our November 21st Creator Expert Workshop with Dustin Peed on becoming a refreshed creator. And I really realized how much timing there is in this. Okay? There's so much timing in this, God's divine timing, that we're doing this workshop right before the holidays. This was not planned long term. In other words, like I didn't know this was going to be the topic long before it kind of became where Dustin had this available. The time was available. This workshop was one that he had already taught at a previous convention or conference. And it made all the sense in the world because now we can talk about going into the year, going to the end of the year and the beginning of next year, refreshed. I would love to see more of our creators not feeling stressed out, not being burdened, not saying I don't have time, not saying I've got a million things and I'm juggling them all. And the one thing that always falls down is my creative work. You don't want that whether you're full-time, whether you're part-time, whether you're one of the freelance creators like me who have several different irons in the fire all over the place, music, podcasting, worship, everything that I do requires a little bit of my energy. And if I run out at the bottom of all of the different things, there's something that's going to suffer. And I don't want that thing to be my family. I don't want anything from my spiritual life to suffer, from my friends to suffer. So there's so many things that you need to keep margin. And again, this whole point is so that you can be refreshed and renewed and feeling great going into 2026. You don't want to feel like you are overwhelmed, stuck, and just taxed going into 2026. So this is a perfectly timed workshop. Dustin Peed, if you don't know that name, again, think of someone that has made it his lifestyle and his business and his creative expertise in creative process and helping teams and individual creators to maximize their time, maximize their energy, maximize their ability, and get the most out of everything they do, whether it be in church and worship or in other areas. This is what he does for a living, and he's going to share that for us and with us. So once again, 2 ways that you can be a part of the Creator Workshop. One is to simply get a ticket to the Creator Workshop by going to godandgigs.com/creator-workshop. That's a simple way to do it. You get a single ticket. You get a single link, which is sent 3 hours before the workshop. So no, we don't send you the link right away. And the reason for that is it's very, very simple. We want to make sure that we keep the link for those people who actually purchase it. We're not accusing anybody of stealing or trying to share it. It just makes it easy. So that way also, when you get it 3 hours earlier, it's a reminder, hey, we want you to show up live if you can. So we send the link right before the actual workshop. Okay, so it's 3 hours before that workshop link gets sent to you. But you got to register before that, obviously. Okay, so you need to register right away. Secondly, the better way, I would say, to get into this workshop is, again, to join the Creator Resource Center, which is godandgigs.com/CRC. Because if you join the Creator Resource Center, you get all of the workshops. And I'm just going to show you real quick, because every time I look at this list of workshops, y'all forgive me for being a little bit braggadocious here, but I always feel like y'all don't understand how much amazingness we've done over the last, not even, I want to say how long has we've been doing workshops? At least 2 years. And I haven't taken any of them down. So let me quickly share the screen. Make sure it's showing. There it is. Oh, loading. It's loading now. Of course, the computer wants to slow down as soon as I want to show you something. That's always the case. Anytime you want to show things, things get slow for some reason. Okay, very weird. I'm not seeing any of our stuff, of course. It's just crazy. Computers love to show off by not showing up. Here we are. Finally it's loading. There we go. All right, now I can share screen. Take this off, put this on. So I want you guys to one more time see what you get in the CRC. Okay, because, oh, by the way, if you're watching us on TikTok, you can't see this because I'm sharing screen. So you got to go to our YouTube page. If you want to see this, just go back to GodandGigs.com. I'm sorry, go back to our profile, and then you can see what's on the screen. So I just want you to see this because, like I said, sometimes I'm like, I don't know if I really demonstrate what's available in the Creator Resource Center. And you might say, okay, this is just a bunch of videos. It's way more than that because this has been strategically created so that you can have all the resources you need. And these are all the workshops we have done. Again, mostly this year, but probably going back like 2 years. So between Where is the Love, How Not to Get Burned Out by the Industry, The Call of the Creative, How to Embrace Your Artistic Assignment, Prayer in the Creative Process was an incredible workshop that we did last year. The 2X Creator, How to Fix Your Content Creation Struggles, Your Partnerships, How to Build Relationships that Amplify Trust and Build Authority. That was with Misty Phillip, who is a super connector. The Email Growth Engine, that was done with our friends at Kit. TubeBuddy and Vizard, How to Escape the YouTube Graveyard, shows you how to build a YouTube channel. From Inbox to Income, this is the one we just did. We just did this one, and it's already up and available. So again, if you missed it, you might say, okay, I would love to make money with newsletters, but I missed the thing, so I missed out, right? No. For the same price that you get to our workshop on margin, it's the same price you could pay to get your Inbox from Income workshop. And again, it's only $17 a month, but you're getting all of the workshops that you missed. So once again, I just want to make sure you all see this. I can't go through all of them because again, they're too many to go through. And you might say, oh, I don't know if I can watch all these. You don't have to watch all of them. Just watch the ones you want and see whenever the new ones come up. You never have to buy a ticket again. You just get the link sent to you. So that's what I wanted to make sure you understood about that. So again, the CRC is the more valueful way to get into the workshop. And again, you'll get the link to the current workshop, which is coming up, which I just mentioned is our prescription, our refreshed creator workshop. That's what's available to you. But again, you can get all of these workshops by joining the godandgigs.com/CRC, joining the Creator Resource Workshop. My brain is going tired. I got to keep drinking this coffee to keep going. It's so crazy. I like my brain's like, it's been an hour. It's time to shut down. But yes, that is the better way to get tickets to our Creator Workshop on becoming a refreshed creator with margin. That's what I would suggest. But once again, if you wanted to get the single ticket, you can go there and you get the godandgigs.com/creator-workshop. And it will always from now on take you to the workshop that is currently being offered. Now, like I mentioned, we may not do one in December. I haven't decided yet. So this might be the last one. Or what I'm also thinking of doing, let me know in the comments what you think about this, especially if you're in our creator membership. I'm also thinking about doing a kind of like a recap where it's like a Christmas party vibe, but it will be a workshop, but it will be where we show you how to prepare for 2026. So I may do that one, and we'll see if we bring in an expert for that. So that's my only thought, but it will be early in December because I don't want this to go into the holidays. I want you to have a full holiday, not connecting necessarily so much on social media, not connecting so much online. I want to make sure that we give you big offers, give you a lot of goals, a lot of resources, and then let you play with them whenever you want throughout the holiday. All right, my friends, this has been it. We had an amazing talk. Thanks to Camille for stopping by, for Will for stopping by, for 12th Street Talkback, for Victoria for stopping by. Awesome to have you guys here. Once again, mentioning the Creator Workshop, which is coming up. Also mentioning if you are in South Florida, please join us at the Podcaster Meetup 11/13. That is next Thursday. This is my last chance to announce this here. So please go and join us at the Born on Purpose Project. It's an amazing facility, an amazing place where podcasters will be able to meet up. She actually does have a podcast studio there. So it's going to be just amazing. My friends from Podfest have been so gracious and so nice to let us be a part of this here at God and Gigs and with my companies. So I want to make sure that we roll out the red carpet for them and for you. And by the way, it's free. So if you are not in South Florida, once again, check out any pod tour coming near you and definitely attend it, okay? But this is the one for South Florida, so I wanted to make sure you got access to that. I do not have the link right in front of me, but if you go and type in your Google South Florida Podcaster Meetup, it should pop up on your Eventbrite, because Eventbrite is where this event is hosted. And you'll just RSVP, and it gives you the information on where it is, but it is free. You can simply come, show up, and enjoy learning with other podcasters. All right, my friends, I think that's it for today. Last little bit, if you'd like to support us and you're watching this replay right over here, I think I'm pointing in the right direction. You can scan this QR code with your phone or your device, and you can give to God and Gigs. If you decided, hey, I don't really want to buy anything, don't need to buy anything, but I love the support. I love what you do. I love that you're helping creators become the creators that God created them to be. I would like to support you in a monetary gift of any amount. Simply scan over here. Hopefully it's not covered up by too much. I think you'll still be able to scan it, and you can get a donation of any amount to God and Gigs to help us continue this work. All right, my friends, that is all for today. Thank you, everybody who joined us on TikTok throughout the time. I know I didn't get a chance to look the entire time, but you guys were looking in. I appreciate that. Felt really good to know that we have some friends over on TikTok. And until next time, my friends, continue to become the creator that you were created to be. And last little note, workshop 21st. Make sure you follow the podcast. Podcast comes out on Monday. And on Wednesdays, we have our creator newsletter. All of that is available at godandgigs.com. So I want to make sure you guys know Monday, Wednesday, Friday, there's always something coming out for you to help you become the creator that you were created to be. All right, that's it. God bless. And we'll hopefully see you next Friday.